a little bit of a side note, a little bit of a roundabout, but that gets me to this job where I'm at today. I've been with them for 12 years. 12 years. But what do we do in 12 years? After I finished the documentation and, set up the infrastructure, the CI/CD pipeline, that was when the work began. Because what we had was a desktop application that was built in Visual Basic, and I think we were in, maybe 5 at the time. By the time we retired it, it was VB6. So maybe it was, I don't remember exactly the evolution of it, but we went from VB6 into VB.NET. I mean, anybody who's ever migrated a tool, there was a migration wizard, but that didn't work perfectly. It brought most of the stuff in, and then we had to comment the shit out of the code to get it to compile. And then we had to go back and figure out, one comment by comment by comment, what happens when we uncomment, right? So that's where my testing skills came in. I started testing just through this process. So I became the go-to tester. I knew the product. I knew what the external customers were saying and what they needed. And so therefore I was the person to turn and say, hey, let's turn these customer requirements into to-dos and action. And then, oh, by the way, let's make sure we're getting this stuff done in a timely manner. And there's all tools and stuff for that. It's not like I was doing everything. What we specifically changed there was the guy that hired me specifically was doing the whole management thing where everybody who's coding sends it to him, and he was merging everything by hand. And, my automatic system is just going to run circles around a human being 365 days a year. It's just that simple. So, long story short, that's 30 minutes to get here. But basically my job and, my skills from there, they all pivot around documentation, storyboarding, understanding a process from start to finish. And, the leadership came, I think, from my athleticism, my time in sports. I was 6 foot early. And so, I guess they call it a natural leader. I think people just looked up to me literally, and were looking for answers at the time. And I don't think that ever changed. 6'3" today. So that's where I get the team play. That's where I look, in a team environment, you're only as good as your weakest link. So the best thing you can do is bring that weakest link up to the top of the food chain, in my opinion. So that's what I try and do. I didn't talk about how, I told you about how I managed 22 people, but I didn't tell you about how I did that. How I did that was with using the philosophy of partners and accountability. I learned from my manager through discussions about this philosophy, and basically it's a way to have a conversation with your people, right? These guys are human beings living a life, coming into work. A lot of them may or may not want to come into work. They have every reason in the world to not come. And, what this does is it creates a conversation with your staff, with your people, so that you can earn trust, right? Why is it that you're coming to work today? Do you love this job? Do you hate this job? Are you, I don't know, avoiding a significant other? Do you not have any other place to go? Believe it or not, those are all valid things. I won't share specifically, but basically these people just wanted someone to be in their corner. I listened, and in return, they showed up to work on time and did a good job just because they gave a shit. And that taught me a lot. did. So that's how I achieved that. And again, it never left me. I've always, I believe, been a piece of people person, and so naturally being nice and helping, um, it's not really a job or work for me. I'm happy to do this stuff. Well, anyways, um, that's a long 30-minute introduction about who I am and how I got here. I did not touch on any of the security stuff. I'm going to save that